slip and fall.
All right, it is 4 p.m. and we will call the Committee on City Operations to order. Let the record reflect that all committee members have a motion for the June 11th minutes.
I move the June 11th minutes.
Thank you. It's a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we are to public comment on agenda items. Please note that if you have an item that is on our agenda, you will have an opportunity to speak with the committee. But is there anyone here from the general public not associated with one of these agenda items? Okay, we will move on to item 5B, and that is the resolution for reappointment of Ronald Embry as a second ward member of the Human Relations and Community Services Advisory Board for a term to expire June 30th, 2030.
He said he was going to be here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe if we jump to item 5C, and when he arrives, we can have an opportunity to speak with him. So we will go on to the resolution for appointment of Shankia Brown as an at-large member of the Human Relations and Community Services Advisory Board for a term to expire June 30th, 2027. And I apologize if I mispronounce your name at all, but if you'd like, you can please come have a seat at the table.
Anywhere?
Yep, anywhere you'd like.
It's not there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We have received a copy of your application. It's really thorough. We have, your professional background is listed here on your application, as well as your community involvement. And so, I just like to open it up and welcome you and just ask you, about your interest in serving on this board specifically, what drove you to apply, and then committee members may have some questions for you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a lifelong resident of Lansing, born and raised. My family is from here. I've raised my family here. And in the last, I would say 5 or so years, I was just thinking like, I want to give back to my community. I want to be of service to the community that has served me. And when I learned of the opportunity of this board, I thought this would be a great fit for me to step up for the city that has raised me, and be an asset and a voice for people to let them know about the resources that are available to them, help more resources become available to them, whatever capacity that I can serve my community.
That's great. Thank you. Any questions from committee members? Councilmember Cost?
Yeah, I ask everybody this just as a formality.
Okay.
Because we have a terrible time with people making it to meetings and getting quorum.
Okay.
You do have time to commit to this, correct?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. And thank you for sharing this. Very thorough. I looked through your application already once. It's very thorough. So I appreciate that. You work for the state too.
Yes.
Hi.
So do I.
State government in the house.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what you can do.
Thank you.
Any questions or?
No, I
Okay.
would move the resolution to appoint Shankia Brown.
Okay, that is a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And which is it our next upcoming meeting that we could?
July
expect?
13th.
July 13th.
Yeah.
13.
And if you can let me know if you'll be there, they can swear you in that night if you're going to be there at the meeting.
Yeah, I can be there.
So, okay.
Well, I'll stare and clap.
And smile. So,
Like that smiling.
thank you so much. So we'll see you on July 13th. Appreciate it. Why don't we move forward then with item 5D? I think, maybe we'll move through E and prior to F, go back to the first resolution. So the resolution for community funding application, Anishinaabe Friendship Center, 3rd annual dance by the River Powwow. Please, if you'd like to take a seat at the table. All right, and if you could please state your name and your affiliation with the organization.
To Washington, and I'm the chair of Anishinaabe Friendship Center.
Thank you so much. So we've received, again, the application, all of the attachments, everything here is thorough. I know that you've engaged with us in the past, and council has supported your powwow that now this is the third year, right, that you're planning for. So I just want to make a note before we continue the conversation for committee members. We did approve a community funding request throughout this current fiscal year, but I just want to make a note that after this meeting, as we go into our next council meeting, where this will thoroughly be voted on, we will be in our next fiscal year. So this should not have an impact on funds that have already been received. So just wanted to explain that. If you'd like to share with us, any additional information about your plans for this year.
Well, this year is pretty exciting. We are supporting our veterans. We have an all-veteran head staff. So we're really excited to be able to honor them. We do have a lot more advertising that we're going to be doing this year. We have billboards that are going in county and out of county. We also have 3 major radio stations that will be advertising on. So we're really excited to see the audience and the participants grow. Last year we had we approximated about 2,000 people showed up from Canada, Wisconsin. Some came all the way from Iowa and all over the state. So we had a really good turnout last year.
Fantastic, thank you. Comments or questions from any council members? Yep. Councilmember Cost?
Just quickly, I was on the committee when you guys came the first year for your first year of this, so I'm excited to see it continue to grow. I've passed several times and I had time to stop, but see you in the park and see everything going on, and it's really cool to continue to see this grow in Canada. That is very cool that we're getting people from Canada. I certainly hope this year that you get over 3, is it total estimated 2,000? I hope you get 5,000.
You just put that in the air. We're going to get 5,000.
Okay, and I see that your request for this coming event is $1,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay, anything else from committee?
I don't think so. If that's the case, I would move the resolution as presented.
Okay, well, right now the resolution says they requested 1,000, but
Mhm.
because typically the maximum is 500, it does say 500, so you have to amend.
Okay, move to amend the resolution.
Okay, that is a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And now we'll vote on the amended
Yes.
resolution. Yes.
So moved.
Okay, it is also a proper motion. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so the resolution will reflect the funds of $1,000 for your event.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
And come.
Yes.
Come down.
Thank you. Okay, now, so we will, apologies for jumping around a bit. We are back to item 5B, the resolution for reappointment of Ronald Embry as the second ward member to the Human Relations and Community Services Advisory Board for a term to expire June 30th, 2030. Mr. Embry, if you'd like to take a seat at the table for a few moments. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I know that over the past several years, it hasn't been typical for council members to ask for reappointed board members to join us, but I think that there's a desire to really better understand the work that you've already contributed in terms of your service on this board, things that you've been excited about, proud of, or maybe plans that you might have for the future. So if you'd just like to share with us a little bit about your experience on the HRCS board.
Okay, currently I serve as the chair of that board.
Mhm.
And our goal is to try to meet the needs of the community, along with trying to, let me go back a little bit. There was a rough time when we went through and we were able to make it through there. Some people left, which were good. I'm gonna tell the truth. Some people left and some more came. So many group of people are focused on reaching a common goal. things will work good. So we're all on the same page. Everybody on that board is concerned about the greater good of the city of Lansing, as far as, things that we think will be beneficial. So that's part of the work we do now. The pay is not good enough for me because I work for the state of Michigan. I made good money.
Oh, another. Company.
Retired from the state of Michigan. So it's it takes from your time, but because I was born and raised here, I love Lansing. That's why I stayed. I could have moved to the suburbs years ago, but I love Lansing. That's why I live in the city of Lansing, and I want to see things progress and things to be better for everybody. And so that's why I said I'd do it again, even though I was like, do I have enough time? I just left the church I pastored to be here. That's why I'm running a little late. So
Oh, I see.
forgive me.
No.
I had a meeting that I had to attend there, and I didn't know it would be this late. So, but the board is moving forward. I think we have all the members are concerned about, like I said, the greater good of the city of Lansing, and so I'm happy to be able to serve again to help with the projects. With the Mod Pods, that's a huge thing.
Mhm.
It stays in the paper. We've tried to be transparent, and there was a meeting over at the elections office where people were able to come and give input. And so we try to be transparent and let people know what we're doing. So Human Relations and Community Services Board, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Thank you so much for offering that, more context and your perspective on where you'd like to see the work go and what you've done so far. Comments or questions from committee members? Councilmember Cost?
Yeah. First, I appreciate all the work you do on the board. I got to see it firsthand at many meetings, especially around the pods. I was there for all of those meetings, and it certainly was a difficult job for the board to have to make that decision and continue to make decisions on that. So we appreciate it, and I know the pay is not good. $3.99 is never good. It's the only price I like at the store.
Yeah.
But of course, we don't find that either. I will because I always ask everybody, you certainly have time to commit to this, correct?
Well, I'm doing it.
Yep. All right. I asked that question of everyone on the board, so I appreciate you serving and being the chair this year. You guys have done a really a fantastic job with conditions that aren't always easy. So I appreciate that and look forward to voting yes to appoint you until 2030. 2030, you heard that right.
I did.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. I would move the resolution for reappointment.
Okay, that is a proper motion. All of those in favor, please say aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you. Got some more work to do.
Love.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 5E, the resolution on the liquor license B&A Unicorn Inc. for a transfer ownership escrowed 2025 Class C and SDM license, new Sunday sales permit AM and PM, and dance entertainment permit at 327 East Cesar E. Chavez Avenue. I have Robert Feda down here. Oh,
I'm not Robert.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And after you speak, if you'll sign in if you haven't.
Yeah,
Okay, that'll
You
be
can
great.
please join us at the table and state your name for the record, please.
Ashley Savensky.
All right, thank you for being here, Ashley. And how are you associated with the business? You are the business
Co-owner.
co-owner? Okay. Well, I did review the application and associated documents. Everything appears fairly standard. Is there anything you'd like to share with this committee before we deliberate, ask questions?
It's been a long couple of months, so I'm
Sure. Councilmember Cost, anything?
Just, it's great that someone is are you guys gonna continue the name?
Yep, we're keeping the unicorn. We just kind of changed up the bar aspect of
Sure.
it, but still
I
the
mean-
unicorn.
That is, even being, when I was a little kid, that was a very unique bar. So I'm excited to see it open again. I know the previous owner used to come into a store that I worked at all the time. And he had passed away, and that's kind of when the bar, yeah, nice guy. And so I was excited to read about this and see the progress happening as someone that represents that area. And I look forward to the tavern being open again. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I know liquor licenses can be a hot topic, but in this instance, this was an established business that had a longstanding record of, service to the community and serving local residents, specifically in the first ward. It's a mainstay property. And so I also am happy to see this revitalized in Old Town. No questions for me?
I would move the resolution then for the liquor license.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you guys for your time. Like he said, back to work.
Yeah. Exactly.
You
Thank
too.
you. Okay, so we are at our final agenda item that actually has quite a bit to it. The special assessment role. We are discussing the snow and ice removal for the winter 2025 and 2026. Committee members, just a note that Renee has been very helpful in redistributing the properties on this list. We did address a number of properties at our most recent meeting. Those are now at the end of our spreadsheet, and they are graded to signify that we have already covered those. And I would like to note that at the end of our most recent meeting, we did have one virtual participant. And the address is the first address on our list to cover today, 3700 West Holmes. Jack, I don't see anyone online.
There's a Colette Warren that's been invited to the chat, but no one has actually joined yet.
Colette Warren.
That's not.
No, that's not this first property, but there is an outstanding question to legal. And I just want to make sure that before we begin addressing these properties, owner by owner, location by location, that we have an answer to the outstanding question. It's the question of ownership. So this first address, 3700 West Holmes Road, the property owner had stated, or we ended the meeting, that when the snow and ice was removed from that property, he did not own that property, yet he has now received, the notice for the assessment. But please, if you have information to offer, that was the question. How could he possibly be liable for this assessment if he did not own the property at that time?
So it comes down to the benefit. A benefit or work was performed for the benefit of the property. So, if the committee finds that there was a work was done and there is a benefit conferred to the property, then that benefit runs with the property irrespective to who the owner is at the time. So,
and my question is, what about the previous owner? Because if he did not own it at the time that this benefit was received, then that means the previous owner must have received that benefit, or is that not accurate?
it's more of about not just really the owner, it's more about the property itself.
So ownership doesn't play a factor at all in who is responsible for the assessment?
It's more of about, because when we're talking about the services rendered, it's at the end of the day, it's the city made the services for the benefit of the property. So while someone may have owned it before, at some point someone does have to pay it, and if the owner now is different, it's unfortunate, but that property did receive the benefit. So that is the thing that matters the most versus ownership.
So you're saying legally it falls in their lap, essentially?
If you as a committee find that the benefit was conferred to the property, then it's who owns it. It's what falls who owns it at the time.
Okay. Councilmember Cost.
I hear you legally, but boy, that feels icky to do that to these folks. And in fact, I just looked up the property. I mean, it is fact 226. 26 was the name change. They did not live there. you know, when we struggle to get folks that want to move to Lansing and we get a family that moves to Lansing, I don't know that this isn't the department's fault by any means or legal, but I don't know that that sends the right message that we want folks to move into our city by, hey, surprise, 6 months later, here's this fine that you didn't own the property when it happened. I have a hard time with that portion of it. And I totally understand the idea of it's a benefit to the property. Is there a legal remedy for the property owner with the title company or with, you know, the previous?
It's not something I can really speak to. I can really speak to the city.
That would be legal advice for the property owner in a way. So I get that, but if there's a different way we can ask this question, let me see.
What does one do?
Yeah, for someone who is going to purchase a property within the city of Lansing, is there a website, a place they can check, or a person throughout the purchasing process where they can find out if an assessment has been made to the property? Where would one check for that information? And is that like on BSNA at some point, or is it, I mean, I know I'm thinking of a different process and a different track. I'm understanding how someone would know that when they purchase a property if some of these other things were in play.
I mean, it could be BSNA. I mean, it's just, again, I understand the circumstances. It's tough, but.
I guess now I'm curious because I'm assuming the title company ran a lien to see if there were any liens on that property when they bought it. So this wouldn't have shown up at that time.
It wouldn't. And if I could just explain the way I'm viewing this is like say for demolish, like red tag properties, right? So we know that there's a way that folks who can look that information up as they go to purchase a property, it is available, that information is out there. And we talk about that regularly, but this feels a bit different. And so I'm just trying to understand.
So typically, it will appear within BSNA as a special assessment after it's upheld by council and by this committee.
But not before that time.
However, closing companies frequently call us to check to see if there is anything outstanding on a property. And so had a closing company called prior to our department, we could have let them know, yes, we do have something that is pending.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, what stands out the most about this entire list is that you said last time these are 100% complaint based, correct? So neighbors had to call your department to say, this is a hazard, this is unsafe, this is a barrier for me. And so while I can see that there are certain exceptions for specific properties, if I go and buy a car and 6 months later it has issues, I still inherit the good things about that car and the challenges about that car, right? I understand that there are exceptions to be made. However, this is the least amount out of all of the costs on this list, the 149. And I think about in the snow with the bad weather that we had, it is on all property owners to ensure that their properties are taken care of, right? So I would move to deny the appeal. With the will of the committee, yes.
Mm-hmm. Councilmember Cost?
So I would, I will not vote in favor of denying the appeal, and I understand what the council member is saying. I think my issue with this though is these folks did not own this property when this happened. It is, I get the car analogy, but I also think that this is, you know, weather, snow, it needed to be removed. There would have been no way that they could have circumvented that. It's like they're trapped in this thing. through no fault of their own. And I think a better question is, you know, and I don't know the answer to this, maybe someone does. Why are we addressing all of these now and not just doing it during the season as these come up?
It has been discussed in the past that we should do it twice in heavier snow seasons.
Okay,
But it was not discussed until this year.
sure.
So we are looking at possibly doing this in January
Mhm.
to get everything from October to December. And I mean, it's,
Which I think would help with this whole thing.
part of it too is that we run into the budget season.
Yeah.
During the time that this is typically being completed.
Sure.
So, for at least half of what was done, then had we addressed it in January, then it would have been a little bit easier, but I don't know where this particular property fell in the snowfall season,
Sure.
whether it would have been.
And I hear what you're saying as well. It's unfair to have to incur something that was not of your own making. I think if I would be inclined to support a different motion if it were a higher amount, but because it's the least amount.
And that's interesting because, I mean, as we're talking about this, I am inclined to support the appeal because it's a lesser amount. I mean, and I
Yeah.
think we all have maybe a similar feeling about what's occurring here. And I certainly can understand the frustration of the current property owner. I mean, we are heading into July. This work was conducted, December of 2025. And then I understand the legal rationale that was presented to us as well. However, I just, and I struggle with the benefit to the property. I think if the rationale were reframed to the benefit of the public that the work was conducted, I might, this is not a commercial property. It is a residential property. There's no way that this current homeowner could have known unless the person he was working with to purchase the home had called the office, which could happen, but didn't happen in this instance. So, and I'm sorry, I've lost track of the conversation. Is there a motion on the
Yes.
table?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion is to
Deny the appeal.
deny the appeal. Councilmember Cost?
Yeah, I mean, the one last thing I would say about this is it almost feels like if we do this and we charge this guy, it would be like if I went out and I bought a car. I'm going to use car again. Went out and bought a car, and 3 months later, the police called me because that car was involved in a hit and run when I didn't own it. And they want my insurance information, and they're going to take it out on me and make me pay for whatever damage was done on the hit and run. Coincidentally, that happened one time with me. I called 3 months later. Luckily, I was not the person because I did not own the car at the time. But in fact, it sure did. And so I struggle with anything to these folks, especially if it was like, the same week and,
If there were
it's-
more
this has
to
been-
it,
This
if
is
there
like
were.
3 months
Mhm.
between them buying the house and like the date of service almost. It'd be, I don't know, I feel like I'm a fish without water, like with this one.
Yeah. I think for me, it always goes back to, you said the benefit of the property, the benefit of the public concept. It always goes back to the sense of safety. So I'm a renter. I'm not a homeowner, right? So I can't like equivocate to that specific relationship. But when I'm thinking about the safety of all of these people and the fact that these are all complaint based because of the safety of the property, that is what motivates my motion to deny, although I have sympathy for the person who incurred this cost. I also think too, like, this is all based on the ordinance, right? Like the 24 hours and all of that, right? So as we go through each of these, I think we're finding that we're having significant and robust discussions about each property. Perhaps once we get to the end of this, maybe the discussion we should have is with regard to the ordinance.
Thank you for that. I appreciate those comments. We do have a motion on the table to deny the claim of appeal. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed.
I would move to grant the appeal in full.
Okay, there is a proper motion on the table to grant the appeal in full. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to property number 2 on our list, 401 South Magnolia. The date of service was 12/17 of 2025. The service time is recorded as within 101 to 120 minutes, and the fee assessed is $499.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject. Are you here for a specific?
Yeah, I'm here
property?
for a property, but you, I mean, if you're doing this one, you can do this.
Which,
Which one?
Yeah.
901 West Barnes.
Oh,
Number
okay, number
16.
16. Sure. Let's jump to number 16 then. Yeah, and your name for the record?
Alicia Shantz.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so first we are going to, hear from our team and understand, the assessment that was made, and then you'll have an opportunity to speak to it. You've just seen the council, the committee sort of discuss things, talk over things. So any additional information you can provide as to the specific property, 901 West Barnes?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was not paying attention.
That's okay.
Looking at the paper. I've got it here. I was just trying to.
Like, I,
First, I'd like to say you had a terrible, no good, very bad.
it was a bad day.
It
It was a bad day.
I do not have anything to add. Kudos to your, et cetera.
This is,
Oh, okay.
So my comments was just a summary of, what occurred or what happened. So we had a notice of violation posted a warning, December 11th, 2025 at 3 p.m. And then the contractor went to abate it on December 16th, 2025. Snow and ice removal, it's a corner lot. And I think your concern was that got a lot of stuff happening that day, I think.
Well, yeah. That's not, I'm embarrassed that they're all printed out now. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean like that. Oh, geez. Yeah.
They took a long time because my opinion is because it's a lot of ice buildup too, and it's corner lots. So a lot of times they apply the salt, let it do its thing, and then come back later to try to scrape it off the best they can. But based off the picture they provided, a before picture which shows a lot of accumulation that turned to maybe some ice buildup. So that took a lot of.
Are there pictures of the work
Yeah.
done? Oh, okay.
Yes, that is correct. Usually our process is, we go out and have an inspector post this, and then after 24 hours, they go back and re-inspect to make sure that it's taken care of. If not, then, we would.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
show.
yeah, you can show her.
Abatement. So, yeah, all the work order we have is, as part of the process. So.
Yeah, and
Okay, so I guess my thing was like, after this day happened, I thought that I had cleared it sufficiently. And then 4 days later, there was work done, but like without, that's not really the 24 hours thing, you know what I mean? Like if I had understood that it was not sufficiently cleared, like 4 days later, maybe I would have cleared it, but like 4 days later to get the work done with, when, you know what I'm saying? Like I took care of it within 24 hours. So, yeah, I guess that's my point. Like, 4 days later, what happened between those 4 days? Like, I don't know. Did more snowfall? I don't remember. I didn't take a picture of my final cleared, but you know,
Usually before they even clear, we instruct them, make sure you have a before picture, because they would not clear anything that's, or address anything that's already been cleared or attempted to clear, in my opinion. So. And usually solve those, and should you have any comments on that?
I guess I see. It looks like there's like, it, it looks like there is snow on the ground, but not like, I don't know. Certainly not exceptional for what's like, look down the entire street. There's equally snow on every,
I have a question about, I'm just a little confused by the timeline. So you give the day of December 11th was the day that you all posted the notice.
and that's the day I took care of it.
Okay, so then,
Which, fair.
are there dates on these photos? December 11th. December 11th. December 11th. Okay. So then, are these 2 days different days?
Up from the 11th.
Yeah, or just even from each other?
Um,
Am I missing something
I
here?
think that's the same day. I
Those are
think
the
it's a
same
corner
days.
lot.
Yes, those are.
So
the
this is one side of
So
the,
that's one side and
Okay.
the other
And the
photo
other
is the
side
other
is the
side.
next
I
one.
see.
And this
Gotcha.
is, which day is this?
It's the 16th, I believe, is that
Okay.
16th, that is correct.
15th and
Or from
15th and
15th was a reinspection as well to, we initially, I guess what I think I hear is that once we give the warning, you attempted to clear, we did came back to 15th, showing that it was not cleared, and the contractor abated on the 16th.
Can I just say too,
Yeah.
I think maybe part of the issue here might be when you are doing your sidewalk, it's expected to be ice-free.
Mhm.
And it's also the ramps that are on the corner. And I think those are not clear. I think the sidewalk is not ice-free. I think that's why it was caused to be cleared at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, can you even see I guess you can see that, but it's like, yeah, I guess it's just 4 days later. Well, what, am I supposed to know 4 days later that it wasn't cleared? And then, I mean, not to mention the whole like 6 months is when you find out that it's not like, I don't even know if I have record of, you know what I mean, from 6 months prior, what I did that night. Anyway, sorry, yeah.
Okay, so I guess, you know, what I'm kind of hearing is that there was an effort made to clear the snow. I'm looking over the ordinance language. No person shall permit any snow or ice to remain on any public sidewalk adjacent to any house, building, or lot owned on or occupied by that person, or on the public sidewalk adjacent, et cetera, 24 hours. So I guess, what I'm understanding is that there was an effort within 24 hours to clear the snow. And even though it wasn't entirely clear by the whatever, which we talked last time about like the contractor, right, coming out and the call and that whole thing.
I'm sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt. Just another thing I wanted to note is the time frame. We had asked questions at the previous meeting. My assumption is that this is a team with a snow blower who can just get it done, and that's not the case. These are, this is a service. They go out, they do have shovels, they have tools to bring the ice up from the sidewalk, and then they salt. So what I had in mind of a quick snow removal, according to the amount of time, wasn't necessarily correct, right? From my perspective.
It's just floaty snow, it is a relatively quick.
Right,
But
right.
If it's built up, if there's ice, it does take.
I'm sorry for
No,
interrupting.
no, you're fine. I guess my point is that for this, I see that there's an effort, and I also see that there is a significant portion clear. What it makes me think about is how we can help people better understand the timeline and also like what the effortfulness looks like. So, and I'm not saying that to you or your team, I'm just sort of like brainstorming out loud, like how can we advocate to folks to one, because there's a piece in your email about self-advocacy as well, right? Like having, you know, being disenfranchised in any way makes it less likely for people to do that. And I hear that. And there's questions about the timeline. There was work done. However, I do see the perspective shared, and I would be interested in a motion to at least do a partial granting of the appeal. I don't know what amount we think is sufficient for the committee, however.
That's your motion.
I mean, you know, when we looked over some of these during the last meeting, I think in some instances we reduced it by $100 potentially, or, you know, an amount that made sense. And I know that there are standard amounts, you know, according to different timelines.
We had two that you guys reduced to the
Was there one that we did to 350?
minimum. No, it was 350. There was one that you reduced by 70 down to the minimum. And then you had one, I believe that's the same amount that you reduced to the minimum.
I would be willing to take the minimum off, so 3, 4, 3. Is that correct?
Minus
Dance teacher.
the minimum is, so that would be 350 if you reduced the minimum off.
Okay, well, I would move to grant the appeal in part to change the cost to 350 instead of 499.
So the amount is 350 or you're reducing?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
So what are you reducing?
I want to take 149 off.
Okay, so it'd be 350.
Yes.
That is a proper motion. Any other discussion on this?
A quick question. I see at the bottom of the photo here, it looks like there's some more outdoor photos in this series of photos from December. Did you happen to have more photos of the sidewalk work?
No, it's just the photo of the tire being done and then just the photo of the, you know what I mean? Oh, the next day or something. What is that? I mean, I can look. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, it
It's
just
like,
looked like it was
it
outdoor.
does kind of look like outdoors. I wonder when I took that.
I need my glasses for that. I didn't know.
Okay, well, we do have a proper motion on the table. Any other comments? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to partially grant the appeal,
It's easier to say if you reduce it to the amount
to reduce
to 350.
the amount to $350 from $499. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, next, so item 3, these are, this just listed, oh, 2 separate dates of service. 1811 Jerome Street.
Did we do?
We
No,
haven't done.
Haven't done the second one.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. That was 16. Okay. Okay,
Sorry.
401 South Magnolia. Date of service 12/17. $499.
I don't know anybody that's from Magnolia.
You don't know anyone that lives on Magnolia?
I think Councilmember Cox
Nope.
has plenty. Yeah,
I live on the west side. So.
okay, so again, it's date of
What
service
cannot sit next to each other?
12/17, the amount assessed $499. These photos to me appear to be straight.
Yeah.
There is one photo that clearly shows ice and snow buildup. The next photo shows the clear and proper removal of that ice and snow.
401's a corner lot, correct?
I would move to deny the appeal for 401 South.
That is a proper motion. All those in favor? Apologies, we are back on track now. Item number 3, 1811 Jerome Street. We have 2 separate dates of service. I suppose we can take the first date of 12/19. The service time is recorded as between 100 and 120 minutes, 101 and 120 minutes for an assessed amount of $499. The second date of service, February 10th, 2026, with a service time of up to 20 minutes for $149. The assessment is being appealed. This property owner claims that they removed the snow themselves. I don't understand why the additional $149 was assessed for the second date. Any insight or context to this property that you may have from your department?
One's in December and one's in February.
Correct.
Okay. And it sounds like it happened again, right? Okay.
What it appears to be to me.
And it looks pretty clear to me that the sidewalk wasn't done. You look at these last 2 photos.
Correct.
It wasn't cleared.
Yeah. I mean, I just think.
I'm
that-
guessing this is the first one here that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that is extreme. If people aren't aware of this area, that sidewalk is kind of cattywampus there. So a little bit of ice makes it real dangerous and real slick.
Yeah, I think, again, not to like, sound like a broken record, but for me, the biggest thing in this process is the safety, right? And the fact that people had to advocate to get these properties clear, I assume. And I think of elderly folks. I think of kids waiting for the bus and like how cold it is and how hard it is to walk. As an able-bodied person, just in my boots down the street, you know?
I fell this winter.
You did.
I did.
Okay, hold on.
Twice.
We gotta come back to that. Are you okay? I would not be. I would
Not my
cry.
ego.
Okay, I move to deny the appeal. I gotta stop talking to Ryan. They're both,
My question, they're grouped
Yeah.
together, so are we taking them one?
They're not grouped together.
The
they're
first and then
separate
second.
costs, So.
Okay, so
the
let's,
first one.
okay, so there's a motion to deny the appeal for the service date of 12/19/2025. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and we'll go to the
Yes.
second.
Did you have a question? I'm sorry.
No, we just need to move.
Move to deny that appeal as well.
Okay, so there's a motion to deny this appeal for the service date of 2/10/2026 for 1811 Jerome Street. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's move on to number 4. Now, what is marked as number 4 are, it looks like two service dates on one day and then another. These are 312, 304, and 300 South Plum Street, but all with the same property owner. So 3 separate residences, the same property owner on the same street, and service provided on February 10th and February 12th of 2026 with varying amounts for each service day. So I'll give the committee a moment to, as there are 3 separate.
I mean, it says that they didn't get, that they were requesting a full reversal because they didn't get due process and administrative documentation. It looks like from the photos, Michelle, that they were.
I actually spoke with this gentleman on the phone after he received. His position was that when there are code compliance issues, the code officers call them directly. And so he felt that we should telephone him directly when his sidewalk is shoveled. And he was very pleasant. Obviously, we can't call everybody.
Yeah.
If they're walkways.
Yeah.
I do have a question about the assessed amounts and maybe more detail. When I'm looking at specifically the service date of February, the first property, 312 South Holmes, has a service of 21 to 40 minutes. And then the second property listed, which is on the same street and actually very close, if not next door to the first property, is 41 minutes to 60 minutes for $289. I did look these properties up. They appear to all have the same, say this, the amount of sidewalk in front of each property that's allocated to that property looks similar. So I'm struggling to understand how one property could take longer unless there's information about, ice removal. Did it take longer for some reason in front of one property versus the next? I'm just curious about that and how that determination is made.
I can look up specifically those work order numbers, but I think it probably is just how much ice is built up. That's what really takes the longest amount of time to clear.
It looks like from the photos, when you compare the two, that from what was there before, that one of them does have more ice buildup and more tracks, which is gonna create that ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compounds it.
So depending on, because they're all quadplexes, one of the
Mhm.
properties could have had a lot more traffic than the other one. I certainly know that the 300 is a corner lot, so there's sidewalks on both sides.
Yeah, and that makes sense. The 300 address to take more time than the other because it's a corner lot. Okay, so same process as the previous. If we could have 3 separate motions for these properties.
I would move to deny the appeal for 312 South Home Street.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes.
I move to deny the appeal for 304 South Home Street.
Okay, proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I move to deny the appeal for 300 South Home Street.
Okay, all those in favor? Please say aye. I just want to note the time, for the sake of our, our wonderful city staff who is here with us. We are coming upon the 5 o'clock hour. We will address as many properties as we are able to with the remainder of our time. And with the intention of picking up at our next committee meeting with the remainder of the addresses.
And that is July 9th, just so you guys know.
Moving on to number 5 on our list, 1314 Eureka Street. Service date of 12/18/2025 with the assessed amount is $499. Questions from the committee?
Is it a green tag? Is it always the same color? Is it always, it's different? Okay.
I do have copies here if you guys would like to see what they look like.
They're all blue. Okay.
This particular batch is blue. We just try and get bright colors.
So
So
This
there's
is
no
green in
color
the picture.
coding.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
no,
okay.
it is green. It is green.
That one is
She's.
green.
Oh, I see. Oh,
They can
okay.
have pink ones. and,
Yeah. Just bright. We try and just make it bright.
Sorry, we ran out of paper, so I had to use screen.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
And this looks pretty icy.
I don't see any Lansing orange ones.
No, we don't have orange. I'm gonna have to remedy that.
I understand what the gentleman is saying, but Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong. From the pictures, what I'm seeing is a sheet of ice,
That's exactly what I
which is
noted.
going to be difficult for, I think, anyone to break through.
With that, I would move to deny the appeal 1314 Eureka Street.
It is a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Moving on to item number 6. 132. It's a commercial property, and the service date is 12/18/25, with the assessed amount of $499.
It's a big sidewalk and it looks pretty clear to me.
It's quite a-
Yes.
Yeah, it's right across from Allen, or I'm not Allen, just down the street from Allen Neighborhood Center. So it's a corner lot too. So we're only seeing one, well, no, both sides are there. We just didn't see the cleaned up side. So there is a lot of sidewalk.
Yeah, a lot of foot traffic.
Yes, correct. I walk through there all the time.
I would move to deny the appeal.
It is a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7. Lathrop Street. Service date of February 5th, 2026, and the assessed amount of $219. Yeah, this again. Thank you, Renee. This appeal, again, is a claim where this homeowner says they did not own the property at the time.
No,
of this
no, they
service.
still did own it.
They
They
did own
didn't
it.
live there.
I see.
They had already moved out of Michigan in mid-October 2025.
Yeah. And I mean,
No offense to this person, but I mean, that is a totally different situation.
Yeah.
You are absolutely still responsible.
when you
for the
maintain
property.
ownership, like, absolutely. I mean, that clears a lot of the,
I would move to deny the appeal for 400 Lathrop Street.
it is a proper motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I think I would like to say quickly that I don't think any of us enjoy doing, we would not want to have any of these. Just, I want to make sure the public knows that when we deny these, we don't take it lightly, and the department doesn't want to write these tickets or do this. No one wants to do this.
Absolutely agree. This is very difficult to
Yes.
work through. I am thankful for committee members that were willing to take the time and look at these individually, though, and give them a really close eye, because there are factors that we consider, and I hope that work shows through. We will take this last
Okay.
property. This may be a duplicate if 233 North Chestnut.
Believe that it is.
Okay.
So it's just one charge.
10136002 is the only work order associated.
I would,
Okay, that is a proper. All those in favor, please say aye.
I,
Sorry, I'm looking, we have 2 minutes left. I just want to get through as many as possible. Let's jump to number 9, 533 South Grand Avenue, service date of 12/17 and the amount of 400.
yeah, I mean, I think again, for me, for all of these, it's about safety and the well-being and the welfare of everyone that's walking through these properties on the sidewalks. So I would move to deny the appeal.
Okay, any further discussion?
Curious. It says that he had a company come out and clean it. Do a sidewalk.
But they left it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, the pictures that we're looking at, the one with the ice and then the narrow path in the middle? Is that, that is the before?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair amount on the assessment then, because you need to clear the whole sidewalk, correct?
That's what the ordinance says.
Yes.
We kind of work with them too with some of that medical issues, and I think the inspector was pretty lenient and kind of trying to work with them too, but I think it's never went.
Yeah, I understand, you know, a bag of salt would have been a lot cheaper to throw down.
It sounds like they tried to do everything right.
It's unfortunate.
Here's a motion on the table to deny the appeal. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. And we are going to pick up these addresses at our next scheduled meetings. And